Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's NewsNow podcast. I'd like to welcome Rob Hattin, who was the coordinator / convener /
founder,
El Presidente, and founder.
Well,
you
helper,
so many hats.
Main helper
of Sessanta Miglia. And he's going to explain what that is, because chances are you don't know, because it took me a while to figure it out too. But this is the second week in a row for a motor-oriented topic. Last week we had Ron Baker talking about his music and motors on Labor Day. And Rob even has a bit of a connection to that. But we're here to talk about the weekend event, which was very successful. Raised a big chunk of dough for West Lincoln Memorial Hospital. And had a lot of fun.
Thanks, Mike. First of all, my mama always said, and I know this is shameless, never come to a party without giving a gift. So there's a little bit of swag in here for you.
Swag
for
nice.
You guys. And hopefully this
is this keys to one of those cars?
Yes, it is.
Really? Oh, yeah. That's great.
But in here there's some swag for you. Hopefully this creates a new habit for all your fellow podcasters later on.
Very nice.
Enjoy that. Thanks,
We're all
Mike.
about the swag. So you're good.
Sessanta Miglia, Giro di Niagara. Someone says, why do you have this name in Italian? And because all it means is a 60-mile drive in Niagara. It sounds a lot better in Italian than it does in English.
Cachet. Yes.
Cachet. It's all cachet. And really that's part of it, because we try and create an image and an event that's fun. And we didn't really raise money. People donated money. I just happened to contribute. Foundations don't raise money. They collect it. I did the same thing. Yeah, facilitate it. All we did was put on an event for the 6th time. That allowed people to come out with interesting cars, collector cars, exotic cars, because they got to drive them.
Yeah.
And with COVID, no one else was doing it, and we were the first driving event in Canada to happen. And I was going to do it regardless, but that's just me. But we had 77 cars come out from Quebec all the way down to the Windsor area, and people just want to come out and drive the car.
And is that a higher number than normal, or?
Yeah, it's so 6th year. It really started off as a small club event in 10-15. Prior to COVID, we were up to around 60 and 19. Last year was 33 because we had to stay in our cars, and then this year we blew it open. And also to coincide with the hospital raise, we wanted to get more people out.
Yep.
We raised the fee to come out, to raise money, and we had more cars come out and more interesting cars, more interesting people, a lot of stories.
So what is the actual structure of the day?
Sure. So Friday night we had a little mixer with our title sponsor, Newport Exotic Cars over in Lewis Road. They hosted this event, but the Saturday started out with a few speeches. We registered over at Peach King Arena. A few speeches by the politicos that came out. We had Mayor Jordan, MPP Sam Oosterhoff, councillors Vardy Frake came out to help, and so a little bit of that. We had big brothers, big sisters come out because we wanted to help them, and and the kids were climbing all over the cars. Like, no one was saying stay off that $1 million car. It was people were just there to have fun. After that, we went on a kind of a leisurely ride in the back roads. And stopped in at one of our sponsors, Bench Brewing. Sorry for the shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Get it in there.
Plug. And stopped in there for a fabulous lunch.
Can't do anything without sponsors.
We cannot, and we'll talk about that and how good that and that important that is.
Yep.
Went on to Niagara Lake, went into the college area just to see what was going on there, and then the next day we basically made our way back by going through Old Town Niagara Lake, which everyone loves, along the Niagara Parkway, kind of headed west and up, and went to Lamani Restaurant for a little dinner, and everyone went home. Not many, most are from out of town, so this is all new to them, and everyone loves Niagara
Bring
Lake.
them to the area, that's nice.
Yep, so that was kind of it. They saw the back roads. It was interesting. I've had 4 or 5 people comment, this area is like Tuscany. So for them, it was a great escape, and it was a wonderful drive.
Yeah. Even people here see Niagara as a nice escape. It's right outside your back door. Yeah. So you were mentioning about the Friday and the gala with Newport. And Newport, of course, is connected to Grimsby through Jen Brady at Grimsby Chrysler. And their family goes back with the Chrysler operation when it was downtown on Main Street here, when Jan Sant Barb had that location. So they've got long ties to the community as it is, so it's nice to see them participating. But maybe good if you just explain how and what the Friday came about, which was really a one-time element this year.
It really was, Mike. Really was serendipity, and again, not a shameless plug, even though it sounds like it. It really came about when we decided. Paul, my co-founder, said we want to support the hospital because that's what the drive is about. We put an ad in your hospital magazine, and that was seen by Jen Brady's father, Dave Baudouin, and phoned up and said, Rob, what's all this about? I should know because I'm a car person. And I said, it's a drive. We do this. And he goes, I'm in. And then how much is it? So
nice to have people like that.
It really is, and what a class act they are. Fun people, and there was no hesitation at all. I told him the price. He said, "Yep, fine. That's whatever it is. I'm bringing." And then he said,
"But then it went from there."
Yeah, exactly. So we acquired more sponsors. Came out. We had this. They were going to open up their exotic car store over in Lewis Road by Stony Creek. I said, "Well, I'm having people coming in the night before. I need to be a host." And he said, "Well, let's smash them together and have a gala event." Really, it was the wildest auto eye candy anyone has ever seen. There were McLarens, Porsches, Aston Martins, Ferraris. I mean, all the things, all the exotic car stuff that people like to do. So, and that was from the people that we knew from before. People like Angelo Paletta and his wife Darlene, and it just ran down. So we were able to bring our tribe out to this event. It was great for them. And great for us too, because they really put on a smashing success.
So this was the 6th year for the event. I know it just passed, but what's on the burner for Grimsby Centennial? How are you gonna outdo that for the centennial year?
I'm still decompressing.
Make it a weekend, a Saturday Sunday deal.
It really, we are so blessed, and I'm so blessed. First of all, these things like Santa Claus Parade, you start the next day right after. So people said, Rob, do you just bring this forward, you and Paul? And I said, no, we got about 2,500 man hours in. So that's over a man year or a person year work, right? So we've had a lot of people step forward and say, look, we want to even make this better, and we want to make it a focal point for Grimsby. So yeah, we're going to make it better next year. We're going to be there for charities that need support. That's what we do. Sessanta Miglia Classic Events was an enterprise we created just so that those profits are just donated. All the proceeds are donated to charity. That's what we do. We don't get paid. Any expenses are just out of pocket. So.
And this year supported the hospital, and you also had the Big Brothers connection this year.
Yeah, we
had some bigs and littles.
We even had Melanoma Canada came out to support that. So we even had a lady, an artist from Nova Scotia, say, "I will donate to this." And a guy who has his own little personal, race car, an Opart out of Germany. Bench, Matt Giffen was huge. Zebra Signs donated their time and effort, and of course Delight and Mark were good with us, and Seven Communications out of Berlin. I know I sound like a NASCAR guy, but these things do not happen without sponsors.
Yeah.
And we, in addition to these 15 or so, we had eight others that stepped up, including one person who's also a patron of the Duke of Edinburgh charity. So we had some hitters here that it's getting some traction. It was a lot, Mike. It was just a ton of fun.
Perfect. Well, that's how it should go. So maybe just explain the fundraising aspect and the unexpected twist that took this year.
Sure. So what had happened?
We're not fundraising, the fun facilitating.
Yeah, exactly. Because events, like I said, all we do is create an ambiance by which people want to give. If you make it fun, people give, right? So we charge a little bit of money to do things, and was going to hand over a check. I don't know. We still haven't figured out. It'll be 15, 20 grand, something like that, to the hospital. But out of that, Ange Paletta, who was one of our registered drivers, invited a local guy, again, who didn't know of our event, so how would he participate even as a sponsored driver? So he had Blair McKeel come down. Blair comes over, and says to me, Blair wants to know about your event. And he goes, well, I'm just here to, do this. And he said, I'll give you $100,000. I said, well, thank you. And he said, but I'll pledge that. So I said, great, we'll hook you up with the hospital foundation. So that was Friday night, and then we kind of put the word out quietly that he's trying to urge companies to match it, be part of the thing. And we've had there'll be an announcement in a few days of another $30,000 coming in. So how much do we raise? I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be $200,000-$300,000 by everyone's done. Again, all we do is we're just initiating. Open the door. And make.
Well, that's great that it went so well. I can't think of any other questions for you. Is there any other ground you wanted to cover?
We cannot. These things don't happen for any charity unless you have great sponsors and the people that show.
And legs. You need those.
Yeah.
You need legs and hands.
Yeah, my co-founder Paul Del Grande of Nargan Lake, his wife Kim and Denise and myself, and then we had Ed Maga, who just literally saw the ad, phoned up, and he said, I don't want to be paid, I just want to help. I worked him like a rented mule.
There you go.
So that was good, but out of it all, I had Ron Baker, who I got connected with. Again, he saw your ad, and out of that, he just announced that, and I'll say it here, he's now picked GBF as his charity of choice for Motors and Music on September 4th. But, a lot of this couldn't have come without the encouragement and guidance of Tony Josie. I'm starting to get choked up every time I mention his name. He and Ruth Ann were very helpful to us, and it just was a wonderful time. No accidents, everyone had a great time, and they're coming back for more, Mike.
Great. Bigger and better in 2022.
Oh, huge.
Let's see what happens.
Huge. This is it's huge.
Well, pretty hard to top this year. It sounds like it just went really nice. And it's just great to see events coming back in general.
It is.
Just an opportunity to get out, like you say, open the door, and let's start things slow and start building back to where we need to be.
Yeah. And thank you for this. This is a wonderful opportunity.
No problem.
Great. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for coming in, Rob.
Right.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.